build jails and spend thousands of dollars keeping a person in jail for 20 years, why can we invest in that child for 12 years? It's misplaced priorities. Children are not a priority in this country, but it's up to us to make them a priority through everything we say and do. I wanted to say this little thing I've heard many times, but ordinary people can do extraordinary things. You don't have to be a Dr. King or Gandhi. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things, especially when they do them together. Especially when we come together. It's like that snowflake. You know, a snowflake is so delicate. I mean, one little snowflake, you can barely, it can't exist alone. Not a fraction of a second it's gone. But the more snowflakes that bind together, the stronger it becomes. And you are from Boston, you know sometimes there's some really bad snowstorms. And the more that snow comes together, that snowball can stop traffic and close down schools because the strength in that unity, ordinary people, ordinary snowflakes coming together. So my time is about up. And I had this shoe up here because she made me think of something when she brought this shoe up, because I use this shoe as an example. In a group that we have called the 21st Century Leadership Club, since we just couldn't wait for schools to save our children, we knew we couldn't have the same impact outside of the school. But we thought that we could have some impact by trying to build a leadership to make a difference, to bring about this transformation. So we started the 21st Century Youth Leadership Group back in 1985, and we bring together young people. First it was from across Alabama, but now we have kids that come from Boston, every summer, New York, Mississippi, Louisiana, and we have camps every 3 months, and we have a 9-day camp in the summer. And we started this without any money. Can't always wait for money for change. We started this camp without any money, and first we had 100 kids, and it kept growing. And at this camp, we experimented with a curriculum that I think would work beautifully in a public school, some adaptation. As a matter of fact, last week, I was on my way to Washington, where, by the way, I had a chance to question the Democratic candidates about their views, and we were able to ask the Congress about this traffic issue. He dodged it like a hotcake. So whenever you see it, y'all keep pushing it to him. But anyway, I lost the point. Yeah, okay. At the 21st Century Camp, we talk about these issues: education, how do you build good schools, how do you empower your community, how do you deal with environmental issues. Every issue that we think will affect the child's life, we try to deal with at this camp that we have every 3 months. And a part of the curriculum involves what I call the LACE philosophy. And last week, in spite of all this hectic movement in Selma with all the arrests and all the fighting, and all the ridicule and all the attacks, I had 2 white principals and some black educators to come to me in my law office last Thursday, as a matter of fact. And I was shocked because they finally admitted that they were failing children. They wanted some help. And I shared with them what I'm about to share with you. I call it the LACE philosophy. And this is the philosophy that permeates our camp. And of course, you see this lace, shoelace. So we like to use this tennis shoe as an example. But lace is generally considered an ornament trim unnecessary for the practical use of a garment, like the lace of a dress. But a lace of a tennis shoe is very essential. If you take out the lace of this tennis shoe and try to walk, it would flip and flop off. It's very necessary to have this lace to keep it tight and together. Well, our 21st century philosophy of lace is this: in order to have students and well-rounded leaders, number 1, we must build leadership. The L in LACE is leadership. And I strongly believe this leadership must take place in the school system. We need after-school support systems and clubs to help there has to be strong leadership programs in the school system. And our definition of leadership must be broadened to understand that every person is a potential leader. It might just be a family leader. Some people say, well, we're having so many problems with our family, but we don't talk about family leadership.
That's right.
Leadership. The potential gang leader is also a potential business leader.
That's right. Amen.
Most of our leadership programs in and out of school exclude the bad children. They should be the first one on the list.
That's right.
These are the children that can help us with behavior problems. We put them in charge and give them some leadership. Leadership, LACE is very important. A and LACE is academics. Academic excellence. Now, I've talked about this. Gotta have that core curriculum that guarantees every child quality education, no matter what pursuit. And this is very important. And this is one of the most important components of the LACE philosophy to me, and that is culture. There's so much pain in our schools. Religion is out. It's declared that unconstitutional. Whether we like it or not, we can't bring religion into the schools. But what is it we can bring into the schools that is spiritually uplifted? Culture. Culture is spiritually uplifted. Every major movement in this country and outside of this country there's been a cultural revolution. The students in China and Germany, they saw what? We shall overcome. People who don't know nothing about the civil rights movement from the 60s know about that song, We Shall Overcome. The cultural part of that movement. And people ask us, how is it you keep these students in the campus? We go from 6 in the morning to 10 and 11 at night. The only reason why we can do it is because of culture. We intertwine with everything we do. We're always singing and creating, and acting, and feeling.
Yes.
That healing is needed in our schools. I suggested to these principals, and they listen. Why not have music breaks? You know, Johnny gets fidgeted. Let Johnny get up and dance and sing. And don't let him sing Mary Had a Little Lamb. He ain't got no lamb. He ain't got no lamb. Let Johnny sing what makes him feel good. If he's Hispanic, let him sing his Hispanic song. If he's African American, let him sing his raps if he wants to. Let Johnny feel good about himself. Let the spiritual healing begin through culture. Culture is so important. And last but not least, economics. We have to give our children the skills to be self-sufficient. If they never go a day beyond high school, they should know how to make a living at something. Now, we're going to invest in education for 12 years. Seems to me that we're smart enough to send people to the moon. We can make all these destructive weapons that can tear up the world in a matter of minutes. Why can't we give an education that will make Johnny self-sufficient? Self-sufficient. So that's what we call the LACE philosophy. And with those things, and we're not saying it's a panacea, but somehow if the curriculums of schools would embrace this philosophy, we can keep the shoe from falling at the wayside. So I would just like to end with a poem I wrote. And it's a poem that tells a little story. And it's especially for people who feel that the little they can do won't make a difference. And I truly believe that we all can make a difference. That in your time and space, with God's grace, you can make a difference. And it's like a puzzle. It takes great faith because a lot of times you have to have faith in a struggle because you don't see other people putting down their pieces of the puzzle. But if you put down your piece and have faith that someone else will do their part, eventually that puzzle will be complete.